Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Play. I'll explain that in a second. First of all, I just want to say thanks a million for everyone for watching Mario RPG. This is actually my first recording I'm doing from Germany. It is October the 12th today, and the reason I'm recording this in advance is because I just got Camtasia Studio. This is going to be my first day trying it out, so I want to give myself plenty of time to get things right. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome you all to, if I can just find the thing, to Deus Ex Machina, which is a really interesting game. You'll see it now in a second. It's for the ZX Spectrum, which is an old console that was, I think it's an English console. I think it is actually. Yeah, it's an English console that was made from the early 80s, and it's kind of like the Commodore 64. It had which I actually had when I was younger. My brother and I had the Commodore 64. The games were on keyboard we're in for okay. The games were on cassettes, so on magnetic tape, like the Commodore 64, and then you had a keyboard, like a computer keyboard. This game is really strange. I'm going to say that right now, but I'm going to let the game speak for itself. What I'm going to tell you is that this is actually one of the earliest games that can be called an art game, really, is what I'd say. I mean, art games are 10 a penny now, but this one really, for the time it was made, which is 1984, it's really out there as regards video games are concerned. I don't think it's the first technical art game, and that's such a weird, undefinable term anyway, but there's no soundtrack in the game. The soundtrack came on audio cassettes, which you were supposed to play in sync with playing the game. So actually, even though the game is a really old-fashioned pixelated, now actually the animations and things are really good in it, but it's an old kind of Atari-ish Commodore 64 looking game. The soundtrack is of really high quality, which is really strange. But so what you're supposed to do is start playing the cassette.
Hello. Deus Ex
and
Machina.
There it is. And the tape and the game will give you instructions as to what to do then, is basically what happens. I hope this turns out. But,
Deus Ex Machina. Hello. I want you to pause your player when I count
you know
you
what this
down,
is like? It's like that game,
and recommence
Atmosphere,
playing
where the television
screen's
talks to you.
request.
Does anyone remember that?
5,
I've got my
4,
finger on that pause button.
3, 2, 1. Pause.
Okay, and now what you're supposed to do is press the S key, and when that gets to 0, you're supposed to press play again. Now. Okie dokie then. And actually the audio will tell you the story. It's really cool. You have to listen to like the soundtrack.
Tuesday evening, after tea and compulsory prayers, the last mouse on earth tried to hide from mankind inside the machine. Just before it died,
This is
the
hilarious.
nerve gas eased its sphincter. The last ever mouse dropping caused a slight accident. You may control the progress of this accident on my behalf, and with my permission, and lead it up the tape.
Ooh, here we go. I should tell you how I found out about this game. First I'm gonna turn it down a bit. Okay. Here's my. Here we go. Okay, what you're supposed to, the game actually takes the form of a lot of like little mini games like this, and basically this is a keep all the plates spinning game. But if you look at the like blue square that's going around, you have to avoid that touching you, because it's not good if that touches you. So it's kind of weird. Like the game doesn't give you any instructions. You have to listen to like the lyrics of the song. So she says like, oh, DNA spirals, they mustn't stop, or any of this like rubbish or whatever. Touch them to keep them moving and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm probably not going to do very well since I'm trying to commentate at the same time, but I should probably explain like how I even found out about this game, because it's a really obscure one. He nearly got me there. This really obscure game, how I found out about it was one time my brother went to London. This is like about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, it probably is 2 years ago now. It could even be longer. 2 years ago, let's say. My brother went to London and he brought me... Oh, he got me, I wasn't even paying attention. And he brought me back this book, like, and the book was called 1001 Video Games You Should Play Before You Die. You know, one of those ones, you get them for, like, films and all those kind of things. Well, this one that he brought me was like a video game one, and I was just like, kind of thumbed through it, basically. And one of the games that popped out, like, that I saw when I was like flipping through this magazine or this book, because it's a big, like, it's like a tome. I thought that should stop, because it's like a big tome. Was this game Deus Ex Machina? Like, I usually say Deus Ex Machina, but the game says Machina, so I'm going to say Machina. Yeah, DNA welder. I have enough of the DNA welder for the moment. But one of the games that jumped out at me was this one, Deus Ex Machina, because it just looked so bizarre, and it said it in that article about because each like game had a little article about it, about how like the soundtrack and like the voice acting and everything came on like separate audio cassettes and things like that, and I just thought that was so fascinating. I thought it was such a cool idea, that kind of way. And like it said like that, and like I don't know if you know these people, but like John Pertwee is he was an English actor. He was in television programs and things like that.
They have their exits.
I think the object of this one is to keep them all going fast,
One person in their time,
not to let them go slow and stop. Because I think if you leave them go slow, then they'll just stop or something. I don't know. I don't know everything about this game, because I remember this is like probably like my 4th time playing through it.
Then the whining school child with cassette.
This is pretty cool because this is actually taken from Shakespeare, I believe. Do you know the thing about the 7 ages of man or things like that, and that like forms like a theme going through the whole game. But what's crazy is that he like introduces like industrial motifs into what should be like a natural motif. It's really cool. So like the lover sighing like a furnace and stuff like that, or the baby in the test tube and all this. It's kind of a bit creepy and unnerving. For those of you who didn't kind of catch everything at the start, maybe because I wouldn't shut up, the object of this game is that one day the last mouse crawled into a machine, and as it died, a piece of mouse shit came out of its ass as it died, and by some chance, this mouse crap, one of these ones always ends up stopping on me. Whatever, it's just there's so much to like keep your eye on. But this mouse crap, by whatever stroke of chance or twist of fate,
the 6th age
becomes
shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon.
It gets like life. So it develops,
youthful
and the
clothes,
machine decides to
well
like give it life or something like
world
that.
too wide
I don't know.
for
It's a
that
really
shrunken
strange
tank.
kind of idea.
And the
So this
adult
like
speech
mouse shit
synthesizer
is like
turning
evolving
again
or
towards
whatever.
a childish treble, piping and whistling.
But
good sound.
it's really cool. It bears playing, definitely. You
Last
should
scene of
definitely
all,
give it a go if you're
that
into
ends
kind
this
of like
strange, eventful
obscure.
history.
If you're into
Is
games
secular
anyway, give this one a
childishness
go, because it's just
and
like
mere
it's one of the earliest games that shows what you can do with video games as an art form. I mean, as I
keyboard,
say, like I don't mean to say it disparagingly,
without
but these
monitor,
days like art games are 10 a penny. So
without
that kind of
power
way,
supply.
without power supply, what like because he's talking about a human there, but like one of them's already stopped. See those one, that one at the bottom left or bottom right. But the whole game is actually timed, I think, to like go with the cassette or whatever. Here we go. What is the next one?
Touch them with warmth.
As you can see, that like percentage down at the bottom is like going down steadily as I'm being imperfect. So that kind of way, because I think it's impossible to play this game perfectly. It just doesn't work, you know. Yeah, do you hear the machine? The machine is saying like, oh, we're stealing one egg, no one will notice, or whatever. I don't know what the whole kind of like backstory is, whether it's something like the Matrix or something, where human beings and eggs and all this kind of stuff are like being kept in control or something like that. Like whether it's something like the Matrix or something, I don't know. But like apparently this machine has access to an egg, and is going to use that to like make the human life or whatever out of the mouse turd. Okay, here's like the sperm game. Basically, we've got to like the longer we keep on that that red sperm, it'll be able to get to the egg. Now you can actually, as far as I remember from playing this, you can actually gain back percent. You can actually gain back percentages if you get it to like meet the egg. Because I'm pretty sure I've got it to like meet the egg, like hit that egg on the left hand side of the screen twice or more in the course of this little section of the game, this little mini game. I think mini game is like the best kind of like term to call them, I suppose.
The satellites are shining. The acid rain looks.
That's Ian Jury, by the way.
Do you know fish and chips?
Do you know that song?
Fish and chips and cycle clips.
You might know it. Don't hit me with your rhythm stick. That was Ian Jury and his band, the Blockheads. And there's that song, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. That's Ian Jury as well. He's dead, but like there's my catchphrase.
I'm singing as I'm swimming.
But man, I'm not doing well at getting. This is actually one of the hardest ones. It's like one with the sperm. I'm not good at it. It's because all of these like black sperms are in the way.
I believe we have an appointment.
Now he's talking to the egg. This game is just so weird. I love it, and it's like But as to get back to what I started saying.
At first, the infant,
the
rolling in the test tube's neck.
The art games are 10 a penny now. I don't mean it disparagingly, but they're far more common than they used to be ever. For example, like I played a lot of them. Like I played Antichamber, which is really good, by the way. Anyone who hasn't played Antichamber should give it a go. There's Antichamber. One of the more recent games I played and adored is Kentucky Route Zero, which is just... That's a great game. Well, like, I haven't played all of it yet, but, like, I mean, I just love what I've played of it so far. Like, the whole atmosphere of it and what they do with it and everything, it's just so engaging. It draws you in like few games I've played before, you know? And, like, it's one of the few games where I'm like, I cannot wait to play more of it. I actually can't wait for the next for the next installment to come out, because it's like a 5-episode game. But art game, as I say, like art games are nothing. Like they're definitely something special, but they're nothing really different now anymore. In that kind of way, it's not like we've kind of grown accustomed to the idea that you can make art out of video games, or make video games that have some artistic intention behind them, whatever that's supposed to mean. But like, as I say, this is just one of the real progenitors of that. Like, I think if this game even came out now, like, we have to consider that this game is like 30 years old nearly. Like, it was being developed 30 years ago, because games took so long to develop. Oh look, one of them's gone. I let one of them die. This is just scary. Oh, now this thing is like...
Steer me well.
I'll steer you well, don't worry. I think we have to, like, avoid getting hit by the eyes.
And oily
I got hit by 3 eyes there. I don't think you can actually die in this game, because I think even if you run out of %, you still get to continue on to the end of the game. But what happens is you just get a score of 0 at the end of the game, because your score at the end of the game is the percentage of ideal identity you have, based on like how well you looked after this little life as it was developing. But like, when you consider that this game was brought out like 30 years ago, I mean, if this game came out today in 2013, I think it'd still be really impressive, that kind of way. I just think it's amazing. But yeah, I like the whole way I came in. See, that's impossible, I think. I don't know. But, because that baby's big fat ass sticks out so far, and his big bulbous cranium sticks out. He's like a weird old peanut or some peanut body. My finger was on the button. I didn't know what I was doing. But the animation is really smooth. It's a very impressive animation, I think. It just kind of really impresses me. Maybe I'm easily impressed, I don't know. It's when that baby jumps forward, it confuses me. But, which one is that? Which Shakespeare play is that in, about the 7 ages of man? About the baby to the... and that when you're old, you're in your 2nd infancy. Is it in, like, As You Like It or something? The Tempest is in my head, but I know it's not The Tempest, because I know The Tempest. The Tempest is one of Shakespeare's best plays. I think it's a brilliant play.
Isolate and program data immediately.
Oh,
erase
this is the defect police now.
Follow the sequence. Touching
the defect police are
follow the sequence.
Know that there's something strange going on in the machine now, so they're going to try and see, this is how well I did. Look, umbilical transfer mode, I went down to 56%. I actually didn't do that badly in the DNA welding or any of that.
I use the word we deliberately. There's someone else inside my brain.
Oh dear, inside my brain.
Fortunately, we possess the sum of all human knowledge and appear to have telepathic powers and the ability to float.
Look at me. There's me. My 56% good self.
When you're born naked.
Those defect police are so gonna get me. But yeah, I think it's like in
with cassette and shining morning face, creeping like a snail.
This soundtrack is so distracting. It's so bizarre.
Follow the sequence. Touching the light.
What am I supposed to do here? Oh, I think I remember this one. I think those eyes are going to start shooting, and we'll have like a shield that we need to block.
Hello, what have we here? A defect algae bound.
This soundtrack is just crazy. It's so distracting.
It cannot be a citizen.
It
don't not have a number. Touching upon its balls.
It's just crazy.
What is it?
I actually can't even process it.
Let's scoop it up and take it for probing and dissection, and keep the underlevels free from this sort of infection.
Oh yeah, see, Oh.
Shove it in the mincer. Stretch it on the rack. I thought I had an order to
Yeah,
throw
see,
the
like,
defect.
I'm doing badly now.
Funny.
It's because it's so small. We've got to like protect our little baby or little body with the shield, but the shield is so small that it's hard to like know whether you're actually have a bead on the things or not.
Crawling, occasionally floating.
But yeah, I just see, how am I supposed to get that? How am I supposed to get that now?
Not sneaking.
Oh.
Growing a little.
I'm sorry, mouse shit, or whatever your name is. That's what I'm gonna call you, is mouse shit. And this makes it really hard to see. Like, what the hell is... I can't even see what's going... See, look, I thought that I was on a bead with that, but I wasn't.
By friends, like the ventilation system and the security net.
Oh, and I like the security net. He seems nice.
And not forgetting the machine.
But see, I missed all of them. I could have got all three of them. And that's just going to be my catchphrase for this, is
extremely wealthy after I choose to escape.
Because it's just so bizarre.
Do we all agree, amigos?
See, I think it's something like that. The left of the... It seems like that the shield is like an odd number of pixels large. Like that one side of the shield is like bigger than the longer than the other one or something. So the it's like the shield is like 3 pixels or something. I don't know what I'm trying to explain. Shut up, Harry.
Into the night.
The reason I wanted to do this game is because it's nice and short. The whole game is about 40 minutes long, and I thought that I'd actually be able to talk to you guys like while I was playing it, but it doesn't even seem like that's going to be possible because it's so bloody distracting, and actually it's quite difficult to do properly. Not that I care about that. Leave me alone, defect, please.
And then
shut up with your
lava.
lover. Sighing like a furnace. Sighing like a furnace. Like the furnace.
Full video.
She'll be seated like a sausage.
Hologram.
See, I thought I was on a bead with that. Oh, I like this song.
I filed behind you, needing no one.
I'm not sure whether like the game is actually in sync with the cassette. Recording the game might be causing it to go like a little bit slowly. But what I can always do is see if I can change that syncing in post or whatever before I change bits and pieces.
Use your power to be more
Okay, what am I supposed to do here?
Use your strength.
There's all these like lips. The critical lips.
Can hurt you badly.
But yeah, I'm settled in
foolish people gladly.
in Germany.
Easy come.
Unfortunately, I can't actually watch videos over here. Well, I can, but I can't, you know, because I have internet, so obviously I can record videos.
To be more gentle.
But I can't record videos because
take them in your arms and
because there's a
feel
download limit in the
rocking gently side to side.
This is like the same game.
Touch their scars and try to heal them.
I keep getting distracted by like I like this song though. This song is really good. All these critical lips are coming after me. But like, so I have internet, so technically I can watch videos, but there's actually a data download limit on the internet, so I can't really, because the thing is, if I end up like, the internet is provided for my rent, but if I go over that like data limit, then I'll end up having to pay like more for it, and I just don't really want to have to do that. So probably when I'll actually be going home for about 2 weeks. Actually, yeah, exactly 2 weeks. You know. Go away, eyes. Now the critical eyes. See, look at that eye animation when it goes like bouncing back. That's really cool. I just think it's a really good animation. It's so smooth.
Use your strength to show less care.
And like everything about like the programming of this game must have been they put some like, because we don't appreciate how difficult it was to like program games back then, when it was basically when learning how to program a computer. Like I know learning how to program a computer was basically like learning how to speak a new language fluently is basically what it was. Like I know technically that's what it is still, that every programming system has its own language or whatever, but still back then it was so much more difficult, and the degree of mathematics and things like that that was called for was just unreal. So don't go away with your eye. Okay. Wait a second, what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna pause that for a second. This program will be needed when loading side 2. Press the S key. Okay, I've paused the thing. Press the S key. Now listen to side 2, which I've already done, and pause the player upon voice's request. When the countdown equals 0, restart the player. The S key to... Okay, this is like kind of a good place to stop the video, because basically the game is divided into 2 parts, one for each side of the soundtrack, because cassettes, everybody who doesn't know what a cassette even is, all you people, you can record on both sides of the magnetic tape. Isn't that interesting? So I'm going to say thanks a million for watching this video. Hopefully in the next part I can talk more about actually what's been going on here, since I don't have to explain the game as much. So yeah, thanks a million for watching, guys. I'll see you in the second and final part of Let's Play Deus Ex Machina. Bye now. Thanks for watching.